President Paul Kagame has called on Africa's public and private sectors to work together for the continent's development, pointing out that what is possible elsewhere around the world is also possible here. The head of state made the remarks on Thursday as he officially opened the Africa CEO Forum here in Kigali.
The gathering is bringing together more than 2,000 participants from across the continent, and presentations made have been emphasizing the need for people on the continent to change their mindsets for the sake of long-term development.
We heard the private sector worried about three things. Number one, the unity of the continent. If you look at it thoroughly, 30% of the continent is embroiled in a kind of direct or covert confrontation. The second issue is our attractiveness. 5 years ago, in the same room, not exactly, but in the KCC, we celebrated the inception of the CFTA. And 5 years after this celebration, we have not enough progress, signs of progress on the CFTA. And third issue, our continuing deterioration of macroeconomic finances, with for the first time in 25 years, the increase of poverty on the continent. These issues are threatening to reverse 2 decades of progress. And from these worries was born the theme of the forum. Because for Africa not to land on the menu of global powers, for Africa to secure a place at the table of global negotiation, we radically need to change course. For this to happen, we need transformative agendas. And one agenda in particular, the leadership agenda. And this was the second thing I wanted to express in the LinkedIn post I mentioned earlier. The absolute priority we need to give from now on to governance, leadership, and accountability. Like many of you here, our group is a family business. It was founded by my dad, who was first and foremost a journalist. And I learned a lot of things from my dad's work. It made me curious, and it taught me the value of asking not just questions, but the right questions. And the right question is here: why are we in this situation?
Also pointed out was the need for an emphasis on the development of technology on the continent, such as artificial intelligence, and a push for innovation to address different challenges. It was also stressed, however, that none of that will be effective without the free movement of people.
We need to make sure that businesses in Africa can access to the best brain and the best talent on the continent. We need to have free movement of people, free movement of talent. We cannot move in the Free African Agreement if people cannot come and work in the neighboring African countries, when it's easier for them to go and work in another place, or another continent, and work on their own continent. And I would like to really praise and thank President Kagame for allowing free visa for African citizens to allow the best brain to come and visit the country. This is the way we will be building the human capital. The resource of Senegal could be here. The resource of Tanzania could be in Mali. The resource of Kenya could be in Cote d'Ivoire. That's the way the continent will be building this center of excellence.
Africa is home to more than 1.2 billion people, 20% of the global population, yet also some of the poorest anywhere in the world. This is the reason accelerated development is crucial for the population.
But to become truly prosperous, we have to upgrade our mindsets and aim for quality and complexity in our value chains. We cannot remain a place where people pull rocks out of the ground, which others then turn into high-tech products and sell back to us. It is not sustainable. It's simple and clear. This will take a lot of time and effort, but Africa can do it. In everything we do, good governance and politics play a very important role. Having the solution is not enough. The willingness to find a middle ground and not let unnecessary levels of bureaucracy get in the way can make things work better and faster. We also need to challenge the status quo across all areas, whether it is in a business, politics, or civil society. Anything that can be done anywhere in this world can also be done in Africa.
This is the second time Rwanda is hosting the Africa CEO Forum, the first time being back in 2019. Last year's gathering took place in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.